What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD Mobile video. So today I want to discuss a very important feature that might be coming to COD Mobile. In fact, I would say after a long 5 years, this is probably going to be a massive game changer. So as you guys remember, a few years ago, we did have this leak about an overkill perk. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are pretty much veterans with Call of Duty. You guys would know what overkill is, but just in case you guys don't know, it basically allows you to have two primary weapons on a class setup. As we know now, we haven't really gotten that as a perk. If anything, it got scrapped all those years ago, back in like those leaks, and it kind of disappointed a lot of people, but at the same time it kind of felt like it was a bit of a relief, given that a lot of people didn't really think it would be a very balanced perk. I mean, for me personally, I don't know if I would have cared, because they probably would have set some sort of limit, such as maybe not having any attachments on the second primary weapon, or having maybe less. But you know, even now, given the meta of the game, I don't think it truly matters at this point. I mean, there's always going to be people using overpowered shit. Like, it's kind of like a given, right? It would have given me a lot of room to like set up certain builds, such as maybe having a mid-range gun and maybe a shotgun for close range. Or maybe if you're in a bigger range map, you could use an assault rifle or like a sniper rifle at the same time. I mean, that probably would have been helpful in a lot of various situations. However, that's just me. I mean, that's just my personal opinion on it now, if it was in the game. But I know a lot of people don't see it that way, and it probably would definitely be a balance problem. However, according to leakers on duty, and I guess some devs from COD Mobile, it may not be off the table just yet. Even after 5 years since this perk, or not 5 years, around like maybe 3.5 years since this perk was even leaked, it hasn't come out in this game, right? But it looks like it's still not off the table just yet. Someone on Reddit in one of their blog posts did ask whether or not they were going to bring back overkill at some point, or if they're just ultimately going to scrap it. And one of the devs did say that it was basically moved somewhere else, and we're going to find out eventually where it got moved. Basically what they're saying is that they're simply hinting at a feature that may come into the game at some point. Not in Season 3, but most likely in the next major update, or the next major update after that, sometime this year. And as of right now, the leakers are currently speculating that the feature that they're referring to is the wildcard system. The wildcard system was a feature for your class subs that allowed you to do certain things, such as maybe having an extra attachment for your primary or secondary, which was, I think, primary gunfighter and secondary gunfighter. They also had overkill, which of course allows you to have two primaries in your class setup. And they even had underkill, where you could have two secondaries in your class setup instead of primaries. They also had a lot of things with perks as well. They had gluttony as well as greed, where you could actually have like basically all three of your perks could be green perks or blue perks. Or you could have also had like maybe like just 3 perks, but with the additional extra perks. So like, let's say, for example, you would have a red, green, and blue perk, but let's say you want an extra green perk, there was a wild card for that, and so on. So like I said, the leakers on duty are basically suggesting that this is probably going to be the feature that they're adding, and this is probably a very good way to bring in overkill. But having other abilities besides just overkill, such as maybe having an extra attachment for your class setup, and who knows, maybe like the way the wildcards will go, maybe they'll let you basically fill up every single attachment slot you can. And if they do have some sort of primary gunfighter feature where you could have an extra attachment at the very least, a lot of people could probably start having like red dot sights on weapons that could probably compete against mythics. Maybe it could make it at least a little bit more fair. That's something I thought of, but I mean, if anything, I mean, if I was a developer in the game, I would just let people use red dots without having to take up a slot. I mean, that's how I would have done it. So as for the release date of this feature, again, we don't really know when that's going to happen. It could be season 5, it could be season 7, maybe one of those major update seasons. I don't know if we're actually going to get it for season 3. Obviously, that would probably be impossible, because at this point, we probably would have known about it by now. But of course, I mean, you know, sometimes with major updates, they give us more than what we saw at the test server, but a feature like that, I can't imagine that happening. Having a feature that game-changing probably would not be something that we would not know about until like the last minute. This could be also, for all we know, one of the main reasons that they're not telling us as to why they're kind of wanting to delay the whole ranked restrictions thing. So it's pretty interesting to hear that we might be getting something like this in the future. So I'm hoping that maybe it could be soon, probably by the end of this year, if not by next year. But based on how they said it, I mean, they said very soon, so for all we know, it could be much sooner than we think. So anyways, that's basically all the news I have for you guys today regarding wildcards. For all we know, this may not be something in the future, or maybe they're probably going to introduce something completely different, who knows. But yeah, I will let you guys know. I'll update you guys on whenever a situation like this comes up again. But yeah, anyways, have a wonderful day, guys.